method of business would persist until the formation of the National Wrestling Alliance in 1948. The NWA as a central governing body, with its singular, undisputed world champion, would be absolute and undeniable. This control, combined with the expansion of the interstate highway system, and the inevitable popularity and availability of regional television, would usher in an era of wrestling that was defined by what would come to be known as the territory system. The territory system would dominate wrestling for nearly 4 decades. While the borders, authority, popularity, and obedience of individual NWA territories was in a near constant state of flux, to this day the impact and influence of these territories is still felt. Each territory had its own signature promoter and star. While it is impossible to cram these characteristics into a static, concrete map, we are damn sure going to try anyway.
So open up your eyes way before it gets too late. Now one man, there's no way you can hit the streetlights running, don't give a damn. A simple explanation that you'll never find. Sinners never sacrifice, we never leave love alone. Is hate really worth the price? Look at what we've done. Never care for compromise, always threatening someone's life, and it feels like the end of the world.
All right, welcome to This Week in Pro Wrestling with Monte and the Pharaoh. pretty
Cheerful, so bubbly, instantly.
Instant
nice
bubbles,
job.
man. Instant bubbles.
We're back. Alrighty.
Too funny,
Hey, and
man.
it is This Week in Pro Wrestling.
And
'cause
it is this-
we're not in trouble this
But
week.
the Jobber Show did very well.
I like the Jobber Show. Hey, I listened to it on Spreaker.
Did you really?
I did.
How do you
It
like
was my only option. We were suspended.
Well, you could have.
At
Oh,
that
at
point,
that
it was
point.
the only
Oh,
option.
I understand.
have seen the video
You're
since.
right.
Very enjoyable
How
with
do
the
you
pictures.
like?
Jared, great
How do
job
you
on the
think
pics.
everything transfers audio-wise?
Cool.
It's not.
It's a good listen.
It is not bad,
Yeah,
right?
if I don't say so myself.
I think so.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed me. I
listen,
enjoyed you.
I listened to the audio. We've been charting a lot lately, which is good.
Yes.
Problem, we need to chart more in the United States. We need to, we get in like the mid, like 100 or whatever. 100.
Maybe we should cause a scrum in the locker room. You
There
think
you
that
go.
would
Well,
improve things?
let's talk about this week in wrestling. Look, we all know the stories.
Do we?
Let me just give a little background. This is some things I didn't know. Maybe you could elaborate for me because you know a lot more than I. But Punk addressed the Colt Cabana rumors. Punk went off on him and said what has been said is not true, and he has nothing to do with Cabana no longer being on AEW TV. He ripped Hangman Page. What is the original issue between Colt Cabana and CM Punk? Because I got to be honest with you, I don't know.
Real quickly, CM Punk also said during this rant that there are only 2 people who've, name the top 2 people who've made the most money off my back in my life. He goes, Vince McMahon and Colt Cabana. Because Colt Cabana has been milking the whole I'm CM Punk's ever since he mentioned him in the pipe bomb. When they were good friends, when he mentioned him in the pipe bomb.
But he mentions that he was paying his bills.
Because there was a podcast situation where something got out of line.
And if you don't know the story, then fine.
I'm doing generalities because I
Okay.
can't claim to be Columbo on this matter,
Gotcha.
but I do know that there was a falling out involving an interview, podcast, whatever the fuck was going on between the 2 of them.
So they did a podcast
They
together?
did something together where something happened where Colt Cabana got out of line and it turned into legal shit, and and Punk was trying to take care of Colt for the longest time. Then he finds out that he's been,
Well, why was he taking care of Colt? For what reason?
you know
Legally,
what?
he had
I
to take
ju-
care of him?
I-
Because he sued him afterwards,
Yeah,
he
I
said.
just don't. I can't say that I know all the particulars, dude. You know why? Because I'm not truly in love with CM Punk. I don't need to know his whole fucking life story, but I will say this: he's causing himself a lot of problems. And it's interesting how he's blowing up everything from the
All
inside
right,
again.
hold on.
But that's a
You know
whole
what? I
other
knew I had
story.
this. I'm going to read this to
ahead.
you, okay?
What do you got?
Punk and Cabana both started training at the Steel Domain Wrestling Company in Pittsburgh at the same time.
Okay.
The Steel in the company's name is Ace Steel. I guess who's that
Okay,
trainer, right?
right,
Makes
the guy
sense.
he's
Who
getting
is a
in-
backstage producer for AEW. We all know that, right?
Right.
All right, so good. So here we go. Punk and Cabana both were teammates and opponents in the earlier part of their career in the Midwest independent scene and were
Right.
stablemates in the Ring of Honor as the Second City Saints for
Mm-hmm.
Ace Steel. Their relationship fractured after Punk left the WWE.
Right.
Cabana hosted this is probably where you're
Right, the
hosted a
podcast.
pioneering podcast, Art of Wrestling, which is one of the
Right.
top pro wrestling podcasts.
Right. Cabana's a
where
very
he
good talker. I mean-
interviewed wrestlers about their art. Mm-hmm. Cabana had Punk on after his departure from the WWE, and he discussed the frustrations with his booking and usage.
Yeah, the interview.
And more importantly,
Right.
Punk accused the WWE of one of its doctors, Chris
Of
Amann,
course.
for negligence. Punk said the company ignored an issue
He was having
of
issues.
an
He shit his
infection.
pants on SmackDown.
Okay.
I do remember that. There was like, brown streaks and everything. Yeah,
All
that
right,
was-
which
that was-
ended up with life.
Surprised you don't remember that and laugh at it every day. Punk shit himself on television.
They all seem to shit themselves at one point or another.
Guess so.
It was life-threatening after he got a Z-Pack. He shit.
Right.
Look, he shit his pants
He
on
shit his
SmackDown.
pants. I remember
WWE
this.
and
The staph
Amann
infection.
sued both Punk and Cabana for defamation, a lawsuit Punk
Right.
eventually won.
Right.
The falling out came when Cabana sued Punk, claiming the wrestler had agreed to cover Cabana's legal
There we go. It was
fees.
all from this podcast interview. Right. Wow.
Punk's response that Cabana was greedy and trying to extort lawsuits.
Right.
So Cabana turns on Punk.
Right.
Okay.
Basically, he's trying to cash in on Punk. Basically. That's how it feels. Sorry, I'm not taking sides, but
Okay.
that's how it feels.
So
You know?
all right, so now here we are. We've got
Right.
this scrum. So let's open first with this.
Okay.
Maybe AEW should stop having scrums.
Maybe AEW should stop letting the wrestlers run the company. This is WCW all fucking over
No,
again.
this is worse.
Yeah, you know what? It is. It is worse. Because they are just going batshit on each other. And by the way, the EVPs, you're fired. What the fuck? You guys are supposed to be law and order in the company? You're kicking down the door of one of your workers? You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
And let me tell you something. This might have been, believe it or not, I almost think you're going to agree with me on this one. Most of the time, you're not picking Punk in a fight. Guess what? The Young Bucks did kick down his door, and I heard that one of the Young Bucks got belted real nicely by CM Punk. I actually believe it this time. Because Punk could take those guys.
Back it
Punk
out.
could take either one of those guys.
Back it out for a second.
Boy, am I buying into
He's-
this one, huh?
Punk went after. I don't know who the reporter was.
Right.
Right. But Punk went after him first, right? So Punk sees this guy. He's probably pissed off. He's the same guy. I heard this guy ask Tony Khan in an earlier interview about
Right.
Colt Cabana and
Right.
CM Punk.
Right.
So obviously CM Punk saw him,
Right.
and
Well,
this
Punk was irritated by the interview, but it's what he said during the interview that got Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks trying to kick down his door.
No, I get it, but
You
the
know?
point is that Punk is infuriated at this thing, and then he decides to go on this rampage.
He went on a
right?
complete rampage. Yeah, pretty much. Rampage.
There you go.
Hey, not bad.
Prob-
it was
and I
dynamite.
and it probably got
that
more,
rampage.
That rampage probably got more views than the real rampage.
Yeah,
But
probably. Probably did.
so here he is going on this.
Yep, he's going off.
Tony Khan
He's
looks
just sitting there.
Tony Khan looks
Sitting there.
like he doesn't know what to say.
That's because he gave the keys to the inmates. He's just.
So let's start with
it's
this
like
first.
Oz. Remember when they took over in
Right.
Oz and the guy's watching from the cage like, what is going? What
Well,
do you think's going
You
on?
said you went to the back locker room fight.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: is Tony Khan this aloof that he didn't realize something was going to happen? Shouldn't he have just stepped away from the scrum?
You know why he didn't realize anything? Because this is going to sound very rough, and I'm sorry, Tony Khan. I'm not trying to measure you as a man, but this is how I see things.
Mm-hmm.
Vince McMahon is a testosterone-filled, big-ass dude who understands combat and understands the game and understands the business. Vince McMahon never would let this behavior go anywhere in his fucking locker room.
There's a difference.
Tony Khan is so different and so clueless. He's a fan. He's a small fan. He's just this guy who's got money.
Vince McMahon
That's how it
Jr.
feels.
got
Sorry,
his
Tony.
training from Vince McMahon Sr.
Right?
Eric Bischoff got
Right.
his training from Greg and Vern Gagne.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So there's
system.
time in the treadmill
Right.
here, and you
Tony
get to
Khan
see.
got his training from the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Tony Khan is no different
rest my
than
case.
you and I
Right.
running an organization.
Okay, yeah.
As a wrestling fan,
Right.
The problem is Tony, I guess, thinks that money solves everything.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you can't put wrestlers in charge of wrestlers.
I got to say something, though. Tony's a fan, you said, just like you and me.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to make sure that we keep the Mike Monte rep stronger than ever. First of all, you may just be a fan, but I have a feeling that if you had Tony Khan's cash flow and was allowed to do something like build an AEW, you were not allowing that locker room to run it.
No.
Okay? So Tony Khan may be just a fan like you and me, but believe it or not, I believe that a schnook like you could do a hell of a lot better than a schnook like him.
I think that you have to realize the player.
Right.
See,
right.
I don't know CM Punk's
That's what I was getting to with Vince. Vince recognizes the player.
We know
Tony
people in the
Khan.
WWE who have told us that CM Punk was very frugal with his money and has enough of it.
Yeah, I'm
okay?
sure. I'm sure.
Obviously, he
smart
came
fella.
back. Hey, you want to offer me $2 million? I'm coming back.
Yeah.
But when you have a guy that doesn't give a shit
Right.
and can do this,
Right.
this is the wrong guy.
Right.
He's not going to run your organization.
Right.
And
Right.
is CM Punk totally wrong, though?
CM Punk is not really wrong about anything, which is really fucked up. But CM Punk just can't control himself, and that's why everything's become undone. Everything's become undone. He's right. CM Punk can sense the fucking that people are like. I don't think CM Punk did anything wrong. Weren't we complaining in the beginning when he was wrestling the young guys?
Right.
CM Punk took the proper way to a world title shot. He really did. He did do everything by the traditional.
Why
book.
does everybody dislike him?
They dislike him because
Even
he
the
says
young
whatever
ones.
the fuck he thinks. Sometimes people don't like that, bro.
I understand.
I mean, honestly, don't I get some of that?
Absolutely.
I mean, I usually say whatever the fuck I think.
That's fair.
That doesn't really always wash so well.
But, you know,
with people.
easy
And that's
easy
cool.
to say what you think if
Right.
you have nothing to lose.
Right.
Which he doesn't.
Punk?
I mean, look, how about this? Tony Khan brought you back. He's paying you good money. How about you show Tony Khan some
didn't
respect
show
and
him any.
not put him in this predicament?
I will say this much: CM Punk comes with an aura of entitlement sometimes, and you're right. What is he doing? What are you doing, bro? You might be right about everything. If I was his friend in private, I'd be like, Phil, you're usually right in the heart. Your morals are super sound.
Right.
Okay, you really are, and you are straight edge.
Right.
You don't do drugs. You don't drink. You're a good dude.
Gotcha.
All right. But your problem is you have no filter, and if you have no filter and no ability to restrain that filter, you're gonna piss a lot of people off.
I think it's worse than that. I think
know?
he has no respect. He doesn't respect people.
You know why I think he doesn't? Because of that high moral grounds that he sees as his truth. When people piss on that, he returns serve.
Again,
I think that's how he functions.
he came from
I
a
could
broken.
be totally
he
wrong,
came from
but
a broken.
I get it.
He came from a broken family.
Did he? I mean, I don't.
He gets
get
lucky
too into
enough to
all of
come to the
that.
WWE where they pay him millions of dollars.
should've
They
been
make
like-
him a millionaire.
Right.
At some point,
Right.
show, and then what you do when you get this opportunity to go AEW, you take this
The whole
time
company's
to
blowing up.
trash the WWE.
Right, but you're also trashing your own company. Holy crap, he's trashing the shit out of his own company, and Tony Khan is just sitting there. You do realize Omega and the Young Bucks are the beginning and the core of that whole place. So he's basically saying they're a bunch of fucking assholes. You don't mind, do you, Tony?
Do you think if Cody
Holy
Rhodes would
shit.
have hung with
Cody Rhodes left
AEW,
because of this shit.
but would he have been able to control this if he was still with the company?
I think he wanted to get the fuck away.
Because he was like,
I think he
I
saw.
see what's happening.
He's like, we got a fan here. We got a fan running this. I'm going home. I'm going home.
Yeah.
I'm going to my company. I want to be with a company.
Well, I want to
that
be.
I feel sound
I want
about.
to. I want to be led.
You know, and I do wonder too how all of the AEW, I hate WWE people are feeling right now. Look at your locker room. Your locker room is a joke.
Here-
You know, look, they complain all the time about freedoms and liberties and how it was terribly repressive to work in the Vince McMahon, aura and office and surroundings. How you like your locker room? How's it
Well,
doing?
I think it's
How's
clear.
it doing?
It's clear when
It's falling apart.
we've all seen when the wrestler can book themselves.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
From the finger poke of doom
Right.
to
Dusty back down south, making sure he's always in the main event.
there you go.
He gets nobody ever points it out, but we know that that's the truth. You know.
So, I think AEW's bigger problem is this. So, he puts the belt on Punk, which was the right thing to do. Punk gets injured.
Twice he's now gotten
Now,
injured.
here's the thing. Now they're having the AEW tournament.
Right.
And I'm watching this, and I'm thinking to myself, like, here's the problem, guys. You have nobody.
Right.
Daniel Bryan.
Right.
Bryan Danielson.
Did you see some of the comments that were written under the scrum?
No.
It was fantastic. And one of them, I died laughing. I said, this is it. I got to tell Mike this. And it was one sentence. They were like, Bryan Danielson,
Jericho.
Chris Jericho, and John Moxley are carrying this company. Boy, oh boy, are you guys fucked. You
true.
just named 3 WWF, basically, first ballot Hall of Famers who are pushing what age? And they're carrying your company. This is WCW, but like you said,
he
worse because of the fighting that's going on.
He turned his script. His script was build my team
Right.
of nobodies.
Right. In the beginning, his script was correct because the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega were not WWE legends. They were about to become AEW foundations. It was the right way to go. And even Adam Page.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree.
by the way, don't be surprised now if Triple H, just for shits and giggles,
No way.
to stick it to Phil.
Not going to happen.
To stick it to Phil. I didn't say he's going to do anything good with him. I'm just saying.
All I'm going to tell you is I watched Adam Page against
Page!
I watched Adam Page against Bryan Danielson, and Adam Page is smaller than Bryan Danielson.
Right, there you go.
I was like, forget it.
Adam Page or Adam Cole? Who are you taking? Say Adam Cole, baby.
Well, Adam Cole has more upside,
Baby.
for sure.
All right, good. That works. That works. Yeah, this company's going to shit. Very interesting. Very falling the fuck apart. Falling the fuck apart. And by the way, I have to point this out too. Everybody wanted Cesaro to spread his wings and fly and be free of the evil Vince McMahon, where Cesaro had quite the WWE career, by the way. Very good. Very well done. Excellent career.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that he's Ring of Honor World Champion? How many tickets is he selling?
What's going on with Rusev?
What's going on with the whole Ring of Honor thing anyway?
Well, again, that's Khan
My
just
whole point.
eating up.
Yeah, it's my whole point.
time.
Hey, I was thinking, you want to buy NWA for Billy Corgan?
I'm
Let's
just
make
trying
NWA
to,
part of the network.
I'm thinking.
What the
You had
fuck?
Malachi Black.
Yeah.
Now you let him go. And again,
And
I'm
he
not
was-
a Malachi
but at
Black
least he was young
guy.
and potential. You could have made him an AEW
You
guy.
could have put him in the mix.
Sure.
Where's
Could've.
Rusev?
I don't
put
know.
him in the mix.
Miro.
Right? You got
Yeah.
you got a bunch of guys,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know, I just. But this is why, you know, Punk was right about the Young Bucks, and you know,
Omega?
the Dark Order. Why are you wasting your time with the Dark Order at this point? And who's writing these storylines?
I don't know.
Jungle Boy,
dude.
Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus is
Right.
with Christian.
Right.
Then he turns good.
Right.
Then he
Right.
turns bad.
Well, I heard that they did it on the fly because Christian got hurt. That's a terrible call on the fly. You just did this.
Yeah.
Do something else.
Do something else.
Slip on a banana.
Thank
Just
you.
do
How about Christian got hurt?
Right. Oh, well.
He's hurt. Gets
Yeah.
pinned. He's
hey,
hurt.
Hey, fuck kayfabe anyway.
I
Here's the
agree.
story. I don't know what you're
I
doing.
agree
I don't
100%.
know what- I do love, though, can we get this in quick? What did I ever do in this world, Punk said, to deserve an empty-headed fucking dumb fuck like Hangman Adam Page to go on national television and fucking go into business for himself? For what? What did I ever do? I never did a goddamn thing.
Did he go into business for himself?
He did. And Punk wasn't even in the arena to defend himself.
That
That's how
happened
this all
like
started.
3 months ago.
Yeah, but it happened in real life, though. That's the whole thing. What we saw as a passing comment was a real, thing to Phil. Phil was
so
like,
Punk
what the fuck?
Punk is a well-oiled veteran.
He sure is.
So wouldn't Punk go to
Who's
Page
squeaky as shit because he
and
took
go to
7 years
Tony
off.
Khan and go,
Get the
I
can
didn't
of oil.
appreciate that shoot, but since
Right.
we're
He
doing this,
did.
let's turn this into cold hard cash.
Right.
Let's have a feud, a
Right.
hot feud.
Right.
Instead, it won and out, Page, you're
Right.
done.
Right. Well, see, that's the whole thing. I think that Phil behind the scenes, when he's got a problem with somebody, is worse than Triple H about it. Don't you see the irony? I got a problem with this guy. I'm not going to turn it into dollars. Triple H has a problem with you. He's
I
usually
got
gonna
I got to ask you
try to
about
turn
this
it into
because
dollars.
this is where I guess I'm not the great wrestling fan.
What?
So Moxley comes out. We'll talk on about MJF on the main show.
You mean
but-
Dean Ambrose?
All right, Dean Ambrose.
He's a fucking
He
legend.
comes out.
It's time to be a legend.
He fucking rips into MJF. MJF runs off.
You're so full of shit.
And then he
By
gives
the way,
his-
MJF is still great. Come on.
Well, we'll
man.
talk about the
Oh,
other one. So
fucking
I got a
hell.
few thoughts about that.
Josh
too.
Allen sucks. That was great.
Great promo.
I thought MJF was fantastic.
Great promo. But let me ask you this question.
Okay.
All right.
All right, go
We'll
ahead.
talk about it on the other show too. But I'm going to ask you this.
Yeah, sure.
Rome is
Better
burning.
fold my
right-
arms for this.
Rome is burning right now.
Again?
Okay.
It was hard the first time when I was there. Go ahead. Yep.
All right.
I got you. Rome is burning.
Everybody, right? This is time for everybody to kind of get together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the time to start talking about WWE guys. The promo was great, but not now.
I loved every second of it.
Stupid.
When he mentioned Triple H,
It was stupid.
it was fantastic.
How did that help AEW, that
It
promo?
doesn't. Don't you see what MJF is doing?
Oh, come on.
Is this shit real?
Now we're going back to that, right?
I'm just fucking with you. No, I mean, okay, I agree with you completely. Why the hell would you ever call like this? See, WWE never calls like to AEW.
Again, you might want to use that somewhere along the line, but not now.
But doesn't it reek of that word? Don't you see what's happening
No,
here?
you know what it reeks
It's
of?
desperation.
That's the word.
That's what
That's
I'm
the
saying.
word. That's the word.
The whole thing is falling apart, bro. I see the whole thing.
And you know
from
what,
point A to-
though?
it's
This is
falling
why you need a
apart.
professional go, I know we're all freaking out right
Right.
now.
Right.
What's your promo going to be? I guess they allow them to say a lot of stuff they want to say. Well, I'm going to do this. No, you cannot do that. That's a mistake.
Sounds really
Right
bad.
now, everybody's loving the WWE.
Yeah.
It just makes them seem that much better.
What did I say the very first night that we did our first show after Triple H was hired? I looked right into the camera and I said, you guys are done. I'll say it now when no one else is going to say it right now. You guys are done. You are dealing with a wrestler who is in this business for how many years and is a McMahon. He's a McMahon, okay? Married into the family and ate with the family for how many decades at this point, okay? That's a McMahon. Yeah. Triple H is a McMahon. He understands the whole fucking thing, and look at all everybody wants to come back. CM Punk might be the one who doesn't want to come back. Who cares?
Well, Moxley doesn't want to go back.
Who cares?
Jericho
Do you
doesn't wanna
care?
come back. No.
I don't care. They don't need
First of
them
all,
at
the
this
WWE
point.
doesn't need to
They
start
don't,
bringing
they
people
don't need
back.
any of them at this point.
But
When-
before
you know
before
what
we cut out, I got to ask you this,
Okay.
dude.
Okay.
And this is why I think I might not be the great wrestling fan. So
No.
Moxley goes and does a speech. Everybody goes, this was the most incredible, inspirational speech ever.
What, because Tony Schiavone said so when he was doing it? What does
Taz
that
was
mean?
saying it. You got all the fans
Stop.
going, oh my
Just
God.
please, just stop.
I thought it was
I thought it was good.
good. I thought it was whatever.
But it didn't make me go, I hate you, Hulk Hogan. Holy shit, I'm going to talk about this forever. Didn't do anything like that.
What was so good about it? You said good.
Nothing.
Why?
It was good because it was honest and he spoke well.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So it was a
Was
well-spoken,
it
rah-rah speech.
Was it earth-shattering? No. What was earth-shattering was that fucking media scrum. That shit's going to be talked about forever.
Agreed.
Okay, so no, John Moxley wasn't anywhere in that hemisphere. People flip out over everything. That's the greatest thing I've ever heard. No, it was a good promo.
Agreed.
I thought MJF was way better than him. What the hell do I know?
Again, MJF was
is
good.
fantastic.
Wrong promo,
Of
wrong
course,
time.
because they're desperate and they're punching up. And they're punching up. You know? And I still laugh every time he mentions in 2024 the negotiations and shit that are going to happen, the ultimate negotiations.
Do you think
2024?
You're a wrestling-
We're
you're a
really going to
wrestling-
do this for another year
you're
and a half?
you're a wrestling fan
Wow.
that doesn't, you just watch wrestling.
Yeah.
You're not anything particular, right?
Yeah.
You're not in behind the curtain like a lot of people are, and
No.
you don't know everything like we know everything about
Yeah,
Cabana,
I'm
right?
not glued to the internet.
Right.
I got you. Go ahead.
What sense does it make to say Nick Khan? Like, who the fuck knows who Nick Khan is?
Hey, it's jolly old Saint Nick.
You know,
Nick Khan.
the pure AEW fan may know who Nick
Right,
Khan is.
right.
You think the kid that's with their father knows who
Right.
fucking Nick Khan is?
No.
No fucking idea.
Nobody. But I do love how he said to the AEW fans, he's like, I'm going to go with the real fans. What a shot.
A shot at what?
He's at your own audience.
Stupid.
What is going on?
It's like
I
the
have
old
no
wrestling
idea.
fan
It's just-
that sells merchandise or does a movie or does whatever,
it's
and then he
just
goes, "Those
unbelievable.
marks out there,
It's
you're a
unbelievable.
mark. You're a mark. That's your fucking audience."
Hey, and you got an owner who wants to be everybody's buddy. It's okay, Max. Go out there and say what you need to, because you're great at what you do. You fucking idiot. He's out there going Triple H and old Saint Nick. And I can't wait to wrestle
if you're
for the
Tony
real
Khan,
company with
take
the
your-
real
Take
fans.
your money. I'll leave it at this. If you're Tony Khan, take your money. Call Kevin Sullivan.
Right.
Call.
Right. Honestly, call us. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah, you
No,
might be
seriously,
right. You
Call
might be right.
us, because I'm telling you, if I had the shot, and it's the first thing I would do if we were sitting with Tony, I would be like, do me a favor, release all the legends right now from their contracts. Buy them off. Whatever you got to do. Take the hit. Put the belt on Wardlow on Wednesday. And every other single guy who's not a former WWE legend, let's start working them. Let's do something here with our own
You know what my
people.
approach would be? You know what my approach would
What's
be?
that?
Now, I don't know what their contracts
Sell it to
state.
WWE and put it on the network,
Nope,
the
I
AEW
would
library?
say Pharaoh. That's really a good point, but
That's a
I would
start.
rather do this.
Keep Jericho?
Pick all the younger guys that we want to go to the top and let
you're
them
with me?
defeat all these guys.
Wouldn't that be great?
And you beat them.
That would be great.
You knock them off, you build
Then
up their
we release
character,
them.
and then you release them.
Okay, that's fair. See, we just met middle ground, and we're gonna have a better product for it. Hey, Tony, you out there? You listening, Tony?
But I would say
Tony's
hire
underneath the
Kevin
scrum.
Sullivan.
Tony, get out of that pile
Hire
over there.
Kevin Sullivan.
Oh, somebody like Kevin, absolutely. He's genius.
I would say, who else would you go out there and get to help you book the right way? I don't know if Arn Anderson's still with him. And I'm not thinking Arn Anderson was a good booker anyway.
No, I was wondering if Paul E is available.
No.
Heyman.
No, that's not.
Not for consistent booking, for ideas.
WWE wouldn't let that happen.
If he ever was free.
But you know what I might do? And as much as I can't stand that fat fuck, I'd call Bubba Ray.
Nah, I don't like his NWA work. They suck.
They are really bad.
And no, I don't want Bubba Ray.
You don't want Bubba
No,
Ray.
I want Mike.
You didn't
I
like
want Mike Knox before I want Bubba Ray.
Okay,
How's
that's
that
fair.
sound?
That's fair.
I like
How about
Mike
Shane Douglas?
What a great mind. But you know something, though? I don't know if he'd be able to coexist with others because somebody always has a problem with Shane. I don't even think it's on Shane, to tell you the truth. Shane's got a great mind. Don't you think so? I thought Shane was very
How about Bret
intelligent.
Hart? Why wouldn't you call on Bret Hart and say, help
Do
me
you know
book?
how he would drive you crazy? If Bret Hart was on your payroll, he would be bitching all the time.
You know what?
He's worth it, though, isn't he?
He is worth it because right now they have a roster of nobodies and
Right.
there's no middle ground.
What
Major
about
star.
William Regal?
William Regal
What a
is already
great-
bailing. You could tell.
It's a shame.
You could see it.
Because they're just not smart enough to realize that guy's a fountain of information.
Who's
and
that guy?
experience.
Yuta? Whatever the fuck his name is?
Wheeler Yuta.
It's like,
about
what are you
Wheeler
doing?
Yuta? I have no idea.
Anyway, this has been This Week in Wrestling. Enjoy SmackDown and enjoy Rampage. It's funny how our shows become all AEW talk, so they are doing something.
This
right?
week in AEW.
There you go.
Maybe we need to rename the show.
I mean, we don't really ever talk about the WWE anymore.
Not on This Week in Wrestling. We saved that for the mother program.
There you go.
The mothership.
Send us out, brother.
Yeah, you've been watching This Week in Wrestling, and it's actually This Week in Wrestling. And until next time, forget this Wheeler Yuta stuff. To the great Shinsuke Nakamura, we see you next week. Yo!